Look at it with your car. Your car tells you periodically when you need to go get the oil changed. It tells you when you need to, the manual lets you know when you need to change your spark plugs and your wires, how often you should flush out your radiator fluid and your brake fluid and your transmission fluid. This is all to prevent things from going wrong.
Right.
Your marriage is much the same way.
Yeah.
Because regular maintenance is designed to have a continuous care model for your marriage, as opposed to when there's a problem and all of a sudden we have to have knee-jerk reactions to try to restore and patch or put band-aids on serious problems. Right. And so dating regularly, let's talk about that.
Sure. Well, we're just in the same vein of preventative maintenance, like you're saying. Yeah. Look at it with your car. Your car tells you periodically when you need to go get the oil changed. It tells you when you need to, the manual lets you know when you need to change your spark plugs and your wires, how often you should flush out your radiator fluid and your brake fluid and your transmission fluid. This is all to prevent things from going wrong.
Right.
Your marriage is much the same way.
Yeah.
It's much the same way. You need, like you said, you need date nights. You need fight nights. You need a fight night. Okay, let's sit down here at the table and let's, this last 30 days, let's talk about it. Let's
right.
You ain't been acting right.
Oh my God.
You need that, you need time with the kids. You need time away from the kids.
That's right.
What is your sexual relationship? Do you have patterns and habits and regularity and consistency? Do you need more spontaneity with it?
Right.
You need to do all of these kinds of things in order to keep the relationship fresh and new and vibrant so that it runs well.
Right.
Because what you don't want to do, just like you don't want to do in your car, is find your marriage sitting somewhere on the side of the road.
Right.
Right.
You ain't changed the oil in I don't know how long. You need an oil change really bad.
Right.
With the tow truck driver.
Right.
Right. Having to call somebody else to dig you out of ditch.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. But that's so good. Pastor Adam, what's you gonna drop on that?
No, I mean, I just concur with the whole thing. Yeah, we need regular maintenance. And I think one of the things that I will say, and I started out saying, was the fact that I think a lot of times we get into marriages, we get into relationships, and we have a tendency, all of us are guilty of it, we will push the automatic pilot button every single time.
You don't cruise control.
We get lazy. We get lethargic. We get complacent in our relationships, and we don't actively engage our spouse like we used to when we first met them. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times when we do that, we allow that malaise to come in, and we just kind of like, oh, well, she don't care. I can wear what I want to wear. I can do what I want to do.
I can look how I want to look.
I can look how I want to look. I can act. That's not it, man. You got to still treat them as though they are your lover. Because they are, and that they have value, and you're not taking them for granted. That you see how important they are, and they occupy an important space in your life. But again, if we don't do that, then we find ourselves vulnerable to the tactics and the stratagems of the world and of the adversary.
Yeah.
I hate to be so cliche, but we really have to learn how to practice what we preach.
Absolutely.
And point intended, no point intended, right? We have to really, it's better to give than to receive. And to what you just said, we become complacent with becoming receivers and not giving fresh starts and giving, new ways to connect and really learning who they are, studying to really know who our mates are, knowing how to dwell with our mates. And so you get to a point where I have studied you in this particular era, and I put the book down, right? I just stopped taking notes the whole nine because I have become complacent with receiving who I think you are now or who you were, and that you're going to continue to be this person. And so instead of me watching who you are now, I'm cascading who you were all the way throughout the marriage, right? And so I think we really have to focus on that maintenance part of who are you today, right? And if your spouse doesn't open up, then maybe you can introduce new things to help them open up. A lot of times we want others to solve the problem, and because we're putting out energy and we expect that energy to come back, when we have to be more intentional about driving the behavior that we desire in the relationship.
You're absolutely right about it. Yeah. There's nothing to add to that, man. Like you said, we got to be intentional and deliberate about driving the relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So like I said, we